Good morning, evening, or afternoon, whichever one's going on for you at this current point in time. Today we're going to be talking about DeWalt, and yes, I got some bad news for those of you who are DeWalt fans. DeWalt's quality is slightly decreasing, and when I say slightly, I mean a lot. A year ago, I got a XR pole saw. This was because of Project Farm's video. Again, take your stuff with a grain of salt. I also got the 60-volt chainsaw, and look how that turned out. I already did a video on what's going on with the quality control there. But strike one with me with DeWalt was that my chainsaw didn't come with the bolt and nut the bolt and washer that keep my chainsaw chain from flying off. That's strike one. Strike two is the known issues, the bad customer service, and everything that everybody's complaining about. It is what it is. Strike three, year ago, bought an XR pole saw, and as far as performance, it was performing totally fine. All of a sudden recently, I squeezed the trigger, which I have right over here, squeeze the trigger, and it just makes like a brrrr sound. Like it knows it's getting power, but it's not spinning. So I said I need a replacement. So long story short, I open up the box and I receive this. Now you see right here, looks super pale, kind of gray. This is plastic. What I paid for was the aluminum head. The reason, some of you might be, oh my God, who cares? Composite plastic, yes, it has corrosion resistance and it's, crack resistant, whatever. I want scratch resistance. I want something that is going to take a beating. Aluminum is going to be harder than plastic. So even though it's the same motor, the same bar, the same chain, the same aluminum pole, the same aluminum handle, the same aluminum extension, explain to me why they couldn't just leave the aluminum heads the way they were. Instead, they opted for plastic. I'm assuming that it's because they wanted to keep the cost down, and this was the best way to do that while not increasing the price. Even in this economy, if you have to increase the price, increase the price. Instead of $190, make it $230. I don't know, 30, 40, 50 bucks is not going to kill anybody for a good quality tool. The only good thing about this is it is lighter. Like the head is lighter. Maybe somebody was complaining about that, but that doesn't matter. If this cracks off, if there's big cracks, if there's big scratches, this thing may not last as long as the original. Now, if you're looking for higher quality and you're going to pay the same thing, they don't make the metal ones in solo kits anymore, right? So this is bare tool. This is what you're going to get, the plastic. This is the metal head. This is originally what I paid for. Mine's was beat up, scratched up, and it was a trooper. There was not any issue except for that motor issue up until then. This is going to get remember, these are landscaping tools. You're going to have breaks and snaps and all that stuff is going to be coming down on your tool. You want metal. That kind of hurt. You want metal, right? Not only that, this I just opened out of the box. The box is right there. I can't show you because it has like my phone number, email, my address, my name. Keep your information to yourself, right? You don't need my information either. Open up the reservoir out of the box. See that O-ring in there, right? Nice and happy from the factory. Again, also made in China. So for all of you people saying, American, DeWalt, American. No, it's all made in China. So don't worry your pretty little head. It's still all Chinese. Open up this one, and what are you going to find? Right there. So, O-ring, one, it's oversized. Two, it might be one of the worn out ones they had sitting on a counter somewhere. This is how it came out. I know I can press it in and then sit there and really crank it down to really press it in, or maybe even glue it in. But out of the box, the old style, the metal one, they already knew what they were doing. This one, they kind of threw it together. It is what it is. If the little detent in there that's stopping this cap from flying out wasn't there, this O-ring ends up in your oil reservoir, and that's what's going to lead to either an obstruction or obviously a leak. If you happen to turn the saw in any direction, you're going to have a leak coming from the threads. Why DeWalt? What possible need would you make everything else aluminum and then make the heads plastic? Was it really corrosion resistance? Was somebody really complaining about corrosion or something? Because at that point, you could have even made magnesium heads. Why? Why? But anyways, the handles are the same. The extensions are the same. It's just the heads that are made cheaper now for whatever reason. Also, this new design on the sheath is garbage. They put 2 random holes in there. If somebody could explain to me what those are for, don't know why you would need that other than to look and go, ah, did I put the chain and the bar on? Which you would know because this only goes on the bar and chain. This key right here, this is how it goes on to the head, right? So if I put this on, your key is going to be right there. If you happen to bang this against the ground, maybe you're walking like a Scooby-Doo villain, you're walking, all of a sudden you hit the ground. This is going to be bent, damaged, or twisted, or lost. And those little teeth in there, those little retainers that keep these keys in, they're going to be broken if you hit them hard enough. The only solution to that, take it off and put it like this and just hope you don't hit the top part of it. At least the bottom, you got a fighting chance. In the original design, they were in the center. I'm going to see if I can find like an original picture of it, and I'll put it on the screen if I can. But this right here, it had a little cutout with the L. You grab your key, you put your key back. It was safe in the middle. This right here, this isn't a quick grab. Look, if I grab this, there's no quick grab. You have to grab it down here, pull it out, and then slip out. And then to put it in, you can't just press it in and go like the original design. Now you have to line up the hole and then click it in. Why? Why are y'all making solutions to problems that are not there? Y'all made the DCE 410 slower than the 400. Y'all forgot my bolt and chain, or my bolt and washer on my pole saw, on my chainsaw. My pole saw is now made out of plastic instead of made out of metal. Your known issues are ignored, and your customer service is steadily declining. Not only that, y'all just released the DCD 1007, which now is sitting at the big boy table with Milwaukee and Flex. The DCF 860 impact driver, again, competitive with the Quick Eject and the Gen 4 from Milwaukee and from Flex. Explain to me why you started making good flagships, you're organizing your batteries, you're getting your labels under control for your different categories, Atomic, XR, etc. Explain to me why in the front you're doing good, and then in the back lines you're just letting the quality and the customer service and everything else kind of slip, just so you can push the flashy stuff to the front like your new power pack batteries. Why? What did I do? What did Jim, John, Joe, and I don't know, Tiffany do? We got to include a woman's name in there or else it's horrible. It's all the same. You made all the same, and yet you're declining in quality. So maybe somebody could explain to me what's going on over at DeWalt. But as far as DeWalt, I'm not going to complain about everything. I have their orbital sander, the DCW 210. I've got their 8-volt gyroscopic screwdriver. Love that thing. The 20-volt heat gun. Got a bag of flex volts chargers in the back. As far as my original utility blade, this is like my first utility blade. Still have it, or utility knife, I should say. I do currently own the DWHT 10992 and the 10991, which is around here somewhere. But these are the new utility knives that they released a couple of months ago. Again, nothing wrong with them. Their black and gold drill bits are solid. Their carbide utility blades for those of you who are cutting through asphalt shingles on roofs and whatnot, you want to keep your stuff hard and you want to keep it sharp, right? And their angle grinder discs. These HP discs, they last a while, and that's what I want. Even though the Makitas cut faster, I'd rather have a disc that is heavier duty and can give me more cuts rather than faster cuts. Especially if I'm throwing it in an M18 fuel Milwaukee, like, it's gonna get the job done, but I'd rather have more discs left than faster cuts and have to keep buying discs. I don't know what you're doing, DeWalt, but that plastic one's going back. I will be keeping the metal one because that's what it is. So last thing I'm going to say, because my phone's about to die and overheat, it's like 15%, is if you happen to be in the market for this pole saw, get the DCPS 620 M1. That is the kit that comes with the XR battery and the old charger. It is still better than getting the plastic stuff that is, again, still made in China, but better quality than that. If you can hopefully find one in your store, you might be able to find one that's covered in dust, but it's got the original sheath too. It is what it is. I'm not saying get older tools, but sometimes older tools are built better than whatever's on the market to replace them, even if it's the same model number. So it is what it is. And if I'm gonna put a picture here, if I can find it, they're doing the same thing with their string trimmers, where they used to be metal heads or aluminum heads, and they're now composite plastic heads. No, DeWalt, we don't want plastic, right? Unless it's the housing of your drills or the housing of your tools, yes. But if it's a heavy duty tool like a landscaping thing, please keep it metal. That's all. So it's going to be really difficult for me to, you know, invest in DeWalt if they're going to be doing silly stuff. That being said, if you happen to be in the store and there happens to be sales, right now everybody's trying to get rid of these old power stacks because they're making that new design with the XR on the battery. So these cost $200 a piece. They are currently 75 bucks. So if you can find them, good luck to you. If you can't, I'm not paying $200 for a battery. I would rather jump ship and grab a different platform. That's all there is to it. Or wait for a sale, of course. I don't want my things for free. I want my things paid for with good quality. That's all. But if you want to give me some free stuff, hey, you know, I'm not bashing on DeWalt. I just want to see where the line is that somebody's going to draw and say, hey, this is not good enough quality. Stop. We need to fix whatever we're doing. And even if we have to invest a little bit more, we have to do it. DeWalt, you take care of your people because they are the ones taking care of you. You can't keep riding the Stanley Black & Decker and hope that everybody's just going to go with it because they're older generations. I promise you, DeWalt will easily start turning into Milwaukee, 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 Milwaukee. And over there, I got my Rigid stuff. And the other place, I got my Ryobi stuff. And the Flex collection, given what I'm seeing from DeWalt, is going to start climbing as well. DeWalt, get yourself together, or you will continue to lose people to Milwaukee, to Flex, to Rigid, to other people who are constantly putting out good tools, constantly getting good reviews, but also taking care of their customers when things hit the fan. And don't settle for less than what you are trying to accomplish. If it needs to be plastic and that's all they have, fine. But don't allow your brands or your manufacturers to decrease in quality while keeping the price the same or increasing the price. That's all I'm saying. You support what is supporting you. Now, just laying it down to show you, there is a 2-inch, if not like 1.5 inches, of flex in the joint. This is the handle. This way is the head. There is so much flex in that joint, and that is for the standard as well as for the extension pole in the center. These connections, I would love for these to be metal, and I'd like for this to be a nice rigid type of connection. When I pick up the tool, there's too much flex. When you're bringing it up to a branch or a limb, there's too much flex here. I'm not sure if the Milwaukees are like that, but I have not used the Milwaukees. I've only used the DeWalts. Also, on the plastic head that I have, all these stickers, they're like falling off. They didn't even try to make them good. So the O-rings coming apart, the stickers are not stuck on correctly. It's plastic. I just don't trust it. So, as you can see here, the stickers are nicely laid. There's no problem. Why? Because this is the metal head. Say what you want. I know it's just aluminum, but I'd rather have a harder tool and a better tool and sacrifice the fact that it's a little bit more heavy, or a little heavier, I should say. Because especially when it comes to these spikes, when you're laying this up against a branch, this is going to take a lot of wear and tear. The metal one is going to be much hardier than the plastic. Supply and demand. But if they start making garbage and you no longer demand it, they have no choice but to supply something better. Basic economics. You have a great day and work smart.